All right, back again, folks. We're talking about one thing that a lot of people wonder pertaining to when they are with these narcissists is why sometimes when you've heard the mentioning of it taking 7 times to people typically take 7 times to finally call it done with the narcissist. And so we're going to talk about that. And here's the thing: it's not gonna be a one size fit all for this. So don't think that maybe just because your situation that yours could have ended in 3 times, somebody else all it could have took is 1 time. But they're going off an averages type of scope to determine this, right? So in most cases, once you're with the narcissist and whatnot, as in any regular relationship too, if things were really good in the beginning and things were going well, the love bombing, all of these things in place, the perception and what you are expecting, your expectations for what could be or what could become initially is going to be very powerful and hold true for a lengthy period of time. That's just not going to erase off of one major fallout, depending on the severity. All right. It depends on the severity of that fallout and what happened, take into account everything that happened. That's why I say everybody's situation can be different. May not be the same for everyone. Everyone's not going to have the exact same dealings, at least to call for that to happen where they like, oh no, I'm done right away. No, sometimes it's a little bit more complex than that. But for the most part, with narcissists, I would say the main reason is how powerful that love bombing is, how effective the future faking is as well, to what you could potentially be losing out on in the long run, right? So you're not going to be like one incident, you're done, because the narcissist is very good at placing and basically getting you to believe in the future faking of what could be down the line, what is coming that's going to be greater, what are you going to lose out on if you move on. And this plays in a lot of people's minds when they're with the narcissist in that situation and trying to rationalize what they're dealing with as it being very unhealthy and them not wanting to stay in it. Because a lot of people just be like, they've already been through a lot of unhealthy relationships and situations before. And so they identify with this like, well, it's the same, but at least, for now, it's not. I haven't seen the worst of the worst from what I left from the last time. Because a lot of people are looking at their last experience and what made them leave that last experience that was like the final ending. And that's what they're looking for to leave in this experience. And that may not appear with a narcissist for a while. Right. And so that stronghold of the potentiality, that potential, right? When we talk about dating off potential and looking at what potential, what's the potential that person can be losing out on, right? So if one is looking at the potential that a person can be losing out on, they're more apt to stay in place and stay put in that situation. Right? They're more apt to stay put and in place in that situation by the potential that they were sold on. by the narcissist, right? So in that aspect, someone can say, hey, like, you're dealing with some of the same stuff. A lot of your, you may have had people try to tell you you're dealing with the same stuff you had with the last guy, but the last situation did not really do a hard sell that sold you over on that potential and that future of what could be. That's really the thing that is the glue of your expectation of what could possibly come. Then the other element, this is another one for a lot of people, is if I move on, what if they go and get somebody else and they're much better over there, right? What if they go and it's better over there and I've beaten over, I overreacted, I jumped too soon, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to miss out on that when I could have just gave it another shot. So all of these things are at play. All of these things are going in at play within the person's mind that's looking to move on. And so you have an argument, breakup. It's some time went by. First, second, third time is a given. At the fourth time, it's like you're really seeing a lot of these patterns and, trying to decipher whether or not you want to stay. At this point, you could be like, I don't even really want to be here. But now you have, a lot of things together. You may have bought cars together, a house together, on a lease together. All of these other things are elements too. This is why I said it's not going to be the same for everybody. So when somebody has this, it makes it even harder to decide, like, damn, I'm deep in with this individual. How do I maneuver through this at this point, right? And so the thing about it is, when one is in that position to have to decipher and go through that mentally, they're bound to kind of like really think on it and sit a little bit more, because also we're taking into account the narcissist still coming back with the false promises. I'm going to do better this time. I'm sorry. I understand what you meant. All these things you're still kind of believing in that fourth time, possibly, right? And I'm giving possibilities as to this because, of course, I said it's not going to be exactly a one size fit all for everyone, but I'm giving you some reasons why. And so, fifth time, you break up. And the cognitive dissonance is really there. You don't know if you're making the right decision or not. A lot of this is about indecisive judgment, right? You're indecisive on your judgment. You're wondering, did I overreact? And when you have time to think, and you're by yourself and you're frustrated, you're fed up, I think after the fifth time, it's like when you accept them back, it's more out of sympathy. I think once you get to that fifth time, it's more out of sympathy and feeling sorry for them, which a lot of you did. You felt sorry for them. You felt like, hey, dang, they're going to be messed up. Jeez. And you're that compassion, that empathy calls, right? It calls you to be like, you know what? I'm going to just do it for the cause. I'm not even really into them anymore like that. I'm just going to be the better person and try to just, let them do them. I'm already 1 foot out of this. All right, they're back. When you let them back in, they sense that they really work on you to get you back in. You don't all the way believe again. You're like, we'll see. You're like I said, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Narcissist does something again. It's the sixth time. Y'all break up. You're really frustrated. Now, at this point, it's harder and harder for you to come back in at this point. Your heart is much more out of it. You may still love them, but your heart isn't into it at this point. And this is the beginning phase of the finalization of being with the narcissist and finally saying, you know what, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to be where I'm going. I'm not going to be with this. And then that seventh time, man, is just like, you know what? Nah, Because after 7 times, it's like you've had enough looks, enough views at what you've been dealing with from multiple perspectives. And you've already started the detachment phase. So 7 times is it's kind of weaning you into the actual full separation and breakup by 7 times. It weaned you into it to where at that 7th time, you can finally just say, I'm done. I've seen enough. I've seen it all. I've seen everything I needed to see to come to this conclusion, to finalize this. I don't need to see anymore. I get it. I get it now. I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what you're doing. And you have a different type of conviction within your judgment that makes you certain at this point that you're not going to be losing out on anything. And then sometimes at the 7th point of breaking up, getting back together, you don't even care if they're with somebody else. They did so much that you don't even care. A lot of them, they've cheated, they've lied, all kind of stuff, right? You don't even care at this point. You can care less. Move on. Go. I'll leave. The sympathy is gone for them. You no longer start feeling sorry for them because they've done you so much to where you can't afford to feel sorry for them anymore. You can't afford to empathize with them anymore because they've hurt you. And so now nothing matters. You don't care. You just go by, and you have the courage now, and you have the know-it-all, a definite one at that, to be like, this isn't going to get any better. This is what it is. All of these promises and stuff, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. All of that, when you put that into account, and a person at the end, you're just going to be like, this isn't worth holding on to. I'm just going to move on. And this is where a lot of you end up moving on, end up letting go. You don't believe in the future faking. You don't believe in the potential that could be by remaining in that situation. So you move on. But it took all of them times for you to see that that's where it was going. And at that point, you're more, I think this is another key component. Your confidence in your decision is at an absolute. You don't doubt your decision anymore. You've managed to build up enough confidence to know I'm making the definite right call for myself to get up out of this situation. Before, it was a lot of confusion. It was a lot of wondering. It was a lot of, I don't want them to move on. And after that, you just get to a point where you don't even care. And so that's why I'm thinking what I'm saying, why someone may stay 7 times before they're finally able to leave a narcissist relationship. Anyway, everybody, that's been all. Make sure to hit that like button, share, subscribe, book a one-on-one. The email's in the description box. Till next time, have a good one, y'all.